Okay, so I have gotten my tool ready, but when you think about flowcharting, you can use this, you can flowchart in a variety of ways. Back in the Stone Age, when I did my first flowcharts, I used a little green template. Have you seen those things? Those work perfectly fine for this, right? You get out a piece of paper and just with a pen or pencil, draw them all out. Um, PowerPoint is another tool that I've seen people use just to kind of get their thoughts out. I'm going to use Lucidchart. Are there any tools that you're familiar with, you've either seen or liked for flowcharting?
Yes, so definitely draw.io, which I know is used or has been used in the 1320 database class. And then oh, it's a Microsoft product and it's slipping my my mind right now, but I want to say
Um,
Visio maybe.
there you go, Visio.
Visio. Yep.
So I'm going to use Lucidchart, and there is a free version of this, and you can do all the things that I'm doing. I know for sure with the free version of Lucidchart and the free version of draw.io, and those are the only two free versions that I know besides paper and pencil, that you can do this flow charting on. And Lucidchart has me all set here. The first box of templates they have is flow charting. So I have these terminators and process blocks and input output and where's my decision? Decision. And then I can connect things and do all kinds of cool stuff. So
It is
that,
really cool to be able to organize. So someone that's like artistically challenged like me, even if I had that, stencil or template you were talking about, just to have it drawn on here nicely and to be able to move them around is a benefit.
same, absolutely. And what a blessing for the people who have to try to read my handwriting, that I can send them a nice PDF here instead of all of the things that I would do on a piece of paper.
Yeah,
Or what happens a lot of times is on a whiteboard, right? So trying to write legibly enough so somebody can say, what kind of box is that? And where's the flow? Yeah, this is
yeah,
definitely nicer.
absolutely.
So we'll start with our flow chart here. We'll start. And one of the challenges that we have sometimes is visualizing the flow chart and the code at the same time. So one of the things that we looked at before was trying to copy this code. Let's see if this works. And then I'm just going to create a text box here in Lucidchart, paste everything in, and everything is awesomely centered in a way that I can't read it. So I'm going to select it again and try and change my formatting. So not the super bestest way to look at code, but it is what I would call serviceable, right? I can look through some of these and kind of see where I am in code. What do you think, Brittany?
I like it. Yep. Definitely better than it being centered.
Yeah. So what's the first thing that happens? And I'm going to try and use the most technical, agnostic language as possible. And then we can go back and refine this if we want, right?
Sounds good.
So I'm going to put a process block in here, go from start to process. And in this process block, I take a look at all of this code, and I'm going to say initialize game. And that's what
Mm,
happens, right?
yeah, I
Uh,
was gonna say why initialize game?
when I take a look at all of these settings, this first for loop that we looked at here, it only runs once, and that's at game setup time. It sets up some variables that we might use later, but that's some complications at least this point in my flow chart. I want to choose not to care, right? I'm getting more and more in love with that term again, just so I can focus on other things. If it turns out I need to break this out into some of the component parts, I'll do that. But for right now, I think I have a good understanding of this bit of code, I can go back and probably look at the line numbers here. Line numbers 12 through 17, in my mind, all initialize the game. And it's these inputs that are defined. I just got another blow up here in the initialize input section, right? So I could use, maybe it'd be better if I use that same language since we're using this for Mars lander. Do you think that helps?
Yeah, I think that definitely gets me kind of thinking, framing this a little bit differently. So that's good.